Well, hey, and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. It's Wednesday, March 20th, 2019, and you're here at our Team Prosperity training. And I appreciate y'all's time so much being here and all the people taking the time to listen to the recording. I'm really excited to see the presentations today. David's got some great stuff to share with us, and then Mike's going to do his presentation. Can't wait to hear all about it. So, David, if you want to star 6, we would love to hear what's going on and, anything that you have to share. And then once you're done, then I'm going to bring up Mike.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. I hear you perfect. Go right ahead, my friend.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to people who are on the East Coast. I hope all is well. I got to say in a few words today because I'm embarking on something very special. I've been taking some courses and learning some really cool things about how to become better at what we do and how to become better at what we all do. First thing I know, first and foremost, is if we don't get out of our comfort zone, we're never going to grow. For me, at age almost 65, that's not an easy thing to do, but I'm doing it because I see the validity in it. I've been with this organization for 2.5 years. I've seen it morph. I've seen it grow. I've seen it change. It will continue to change and continue to get better and better and better as time goes on. I've been through all the, Alana and Mike, I've been through a lot of all the old stuff. But now is good, and now that the system is set. I want to pass a few things on to you that might help you when you're talking to clients or would-be clients, if you're out there even doing some business. It's really important that you talk about rich dad, poor dad to people, because wealthy people always pay themselves first. That's the key to becoming wealthy. You can ask any wealthy human being. They don't. When we talk to clients, they go, "I have nothing left over at the end of the month to pay for anything." Well, you got to teach people they got to pay themselves first. That's the most important thing. And then when you're talking to somebody about an IUL, after you laid that groundwork about pay yourself first, you ask the potential client or would-be client or client to be, how much do you want to pay yourself every month? Big difference. Well, those words just spoke volumes to me. Not how much do you want to invest, not how much do you have left over, how much do you want to pay yourself first every month to get wealthy? Boy, that sentence to me speaks volumes. It's going to change the way I speak to people. So I'm in this 9-week program that I've found that I'm learning, and it's not an inexpensive process, but it's a process that is another system that I'm involved in to make myself even better and better and better and do it virtually. Because I'm going to be traveling most of the summer. Most of you don't know that I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I live in California, but I'm going to go spend 3 months in Pittsburgh. Why? Because we all can. I mean, I'm going to have a nice little place, renting a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm going to work most of the day. I'm going to see my friends and family, and I'm going to spend 3 months there. I spent 57 years of my life there, and I'm going to go back. The ability to be able to work from anywhere. When I talk to people about, this is a home-based business, it's true. But now it's more than that, everybody. You can work from anywhere. I'm being taken away on my 65th birthday to Cabo. How nice that is. But I'm taking my laptop. People are telling me, Mike and Alana say, you shouldn't work, take the days off. Listen, what's the big deal if I get on the phone for an hour and a half, do my work, and enjoy the rest of my day? You can do anything you want from anywhere with this company. That's what makes us very unique and very special. And Mike Amos put something in yesterday. You know what? We don't compete with anybody. We just don't. We are different. It's good to be different. We will succeed through all these bumps and these bruises. Being totally open and honest, I've had a miserable first quarter. Miserable bringing people in. I have. I don't know whether I'm failing, or I'm not doing the system correctly, or I'm just attracting the wrong people at the wrong time. I don't know what it is, but I'm not stopping. I've got 4 ABC calls this afternoon. It's going to keep me going, and I'll make my calls every day. I continue, and I will tell you all, as Mike always says, if you don't pick up the phone, you're not going anywhere in this business. You've got to be able to talk to people. And I go through lots of numbers. I mean, this morning, I had a 7 o'clock ABC call, 10 minutes to 7. I get an email. Can we move it? Can we move it? So I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning for nothing. Of course I moved the appointment. But after that, I was on the phone with Trump dealing with some issues. I was doing some other things, and I made 25 phone calls in an hour. So I got 2 more videos sent out this morning. That's what this takes. I mean, it really does. I know Chris, when you hear him screaming and yelling and pleading with everybody to work, I can't plead with you, and I'm not going to scream because that's not my style. Just put the time into this, everybody. If you do, you will be rewarded at the end of the day. You're all here for a reason. Some people have been here for a while. Some people have just joined the company. And those who just joined the company, you've got a system in place. Just work it. Work it and work it and work it and work it. And just use the scripts until you're comfortable being you. That's all I can tell everybody. Learn what we do, how we do it. Be comfortable with the conversations. You know, you're going to get a lot of people saying, I get this all the time. You know, I get, how do I get my leads? How do we get paid? How much money? What's my contract level? You know, I had that discussion the other day with the gentleman. What's my contract level? I said, listen, I got a question for you. You want to make more money, or are you worried about a contract level? Because guess what? You're going to make more money at the end of the day doing this. Again, my last statement of the day is, yes, I'm going to be 65. I don't feel it. I really don't. I got a lot of energy. But I'm going to tell you all, I don't want to be selling anything by I'm 67, 68 years old. That's why I came into this company. I came in not only for the residual, but I came in for the passive income. And another thing I will give you a tip. There are many people like me who got crushed in 2008 and 9, who don't have any retirement money. What's the worst thing that could happen to them? What's the worst? That they put 3-4 years into this and they make $7,000 to $10,000 a month in passive income? Well, people don't have an end game. I can promise you that. You talk to any producer out there, what's your end game? Well, I'm going to work till I die. Really? Well, I might work till I die, but I'm not going to work that hard. I'm not going to run up and down the street. I'm not going to pull up on my horse and buggy for a client. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. Last night, I'll share this with you also. I went to a financial presentation by an insurance agent. It was at a place called Mastro, which is a high-end restaurant. Man's dressed in a suit and a tie. He's got 14 couples. I was with my better half. We're listening. I learned some things from him. But at the end of the day, he came out with this one great annuity that's going to pay you 22% bonus money on a 10-year annuity. So I asked him, Mr. Carey, he said, I can't tell you that. You have to come to my office tomorrow. To me, that's pushing me on a little close. Of course, I know who it is because I called Trump this morning and found out. Look, to me, he's a dinosaur. He's bragging about all their offices they have all over the country. This guy has seminars 3 to 4 nights a week. And then he leaves, the seminar's over, we get dinner, and they spend a lot of money. Mastro's, where I went, was a very expensive place. I didn't pay for it. But then he leaves. He excuses himself before dinner's being served. He has to leave. He has to go to San Diego tomorrow. And we sit there without him there. Wow. I mean, I've never been to a party or a place where the host leaves at the end. I think he would have stayed. But that's not the point. He's a dinosaur. Listen to me, everybody. I watched people's faces while they were sitting there. I watched maybe some of the older people that were there that are going to go and visit him. You know, but he's focusing on one carrier. It's called Allianz. You know, it may not be for everybody. And I went to the front desk this morning, and I'm trying to find the right annuity for one of my clients. Because we do have Allianz, but this client doesn't want to wait 10 years for 22% bonus money, which is pretty unbelievable when you put $100,000 into something and you get $22,000 for day one. So you got $122,000. And again, that's indexed also, so they don't lose money. There's lots of things I did learn from this gentleman, and I'm glad I went there. But I'm telling you all, He is a dinosaur. He is a blockbuster. Who would do what he does? I'm sure he does very well for himself. But they have these sheets you have to fill out. He's got his assistants there, and his assistant said, if you don't check these boxes off, it's not compliant with the IRS. I just laughed. What's the IRS have to do with any of this? Nothing. But what we're doing is the forefront of what's happening now. My conversations with people are better. People are starting to look at us a very different way, and I'm being much more careful. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't want to bring in the right business. But maybe I am getting more pickier about who I bring in. Maybe we all should take a look at that also and really respect the fact that you really want to work with people you want to work with, the people who see this. I now listen to the voices of people. I listen to their energy. If I don't hear energy, and I got to ask 9,000 questions like I did on Monday with a gentleman for his second ABC with his business partner, and then at the end of the thing, she says to me, I want to talk to somebody else in your company. Really, what else can I tell you? I mean, there's nobody else to talk to. And I didn't use my senior vice presidency or anything like that. I didn't use that. I said, listen, Mom, I've been here for 2.5 years. And I should have asked the question because I discussed this with Mike. I should have asked the question. If you've been in the business 25, 30 years and you're working for Family First, why are you even looking at me? Why are you even looking? Have I heard back from them? Yeah, when they tell you, we'll get back to you, believe me, that's a no. They won't answer the phone. They won't pick it up. It's just a no. Move forward. That's one thing I learned quickly. The answer, there's a lot of different ways people tell you no. It's just the way it is. When they miss appointments, it's no. When they miss, especially 2 or 3 in a row, forget it. Dump them. Put them in the dump file. Maybe 6 months later they'll come back. But don't waste your time. Keep moving forward. That's the best advice I could give everybody here. And again, Michael and I are trying to put some things together to help market it, to do some different marketing. We're working extremely hard doing that. My days seem to be very filled all day long. And I will continue to do this 9-week program that I'm involved in, and I will continue to give you all the information that I can from it. It is making me very uncomfortable because it's a lot of written work that I have to do. It's not typing. The gentleman I'm taking the class from believes, write it and you'll learn it. Don't type it, you have to write it. So all these steps are week by week. So it's a 9-week course. But I really believe in my heart when I get through this 9-week course, I'm going to be so much better. And I'm going to be able to go anywhere and write business anywhere. And I'm going to learn how to Facebook market through this gentleman. That's all he does. That's all this man does is do Facebook marketing. And he does his own video. And it's nothing about the business. It's about who he is. And so stay tuned. I will keep you all abreast as I move forward in this. I'm working diligently at least an hour and a half every night after the day ends to put all my stuff together. And then I have to submit it to him for me to be able to move forward. But it's going to be interesting. It's really taken out of my comfort zone. I'm going to go. I'm going to let Mike talk. Thank you for the time for letting me speak to everybody. And put me on mute, Moana, or however you want me to do it. And I wish you all a great day and the best out there. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, David, SVP, David Chase, everybody. Let me grab Mike. I can't wait to see his presentation. Thanks again for sharing.
All right, you guys, hope everybody's doing well. I just want to cover some stuff, a couple of announcements, a couple of things that came up during the week. Every week we try to cover things that will directly start to help your business. We always talk about freedom, the cost of freedom. You're going to have to pay a price here. Your partner's going to have to pay a price. It's not a financial price. It's a time investment, and it's the ability to self-manage, lead, build. There's a lot of ingredients that go into our recipe for success, and we always talk about profiling people, building the filters on the front end, changing your verbiage as you get more confident in the business model and what we have to offer. It'll come out and things will change. So the first round of marketing is always just a learning process, and that's why we try to set it up accordingly. How you're going to, make it as a startup, that's what each of you guys are when you come in. You're a startup. We provide you with a lot of infrastructure, tools, training, support, But at the end, it's whatever you can, with our help, put together. So a lot of things that going into how to succeed here. You don't get demoralized, don't give up. These things that we continue to talk about, pick good people, understand your users, provide incredible support. These are things that will help you guys as you gain good partnerships, keep those intact, and pass down good habits to the generations down below you. Quick announcement on the basketball tournament. Steven put in a policy earlier today, so he actually takes 1 point lead over Sherry right now. Remember, Alana and I can't win this tournament, so it ends April the 7th. We'll continue to post the leaderboards. You guys try to put on as many points as possible, leading up to the end of the Final Four. 12-week year, guys. We're coming up on week 11, so we got 2 more weeks. We'll have about a week or so break, and then we'll start a new one. If you're interested in joining the 12-week year groups, it's a great idea. It's only going to help you. You need to read the book prior to that. If you have never had an Audible account, I can get you a link to the free Audible book. So let me know if you want that. Last week we discussed, our week, of course, as always. We also revisit our 36-month vision. What you want to get done over the next 3 years is very, very, very important. If you don't have a clear vision, probably not going to materialize for you. This is the next to last week, so we'll be discussing our week as usual, the process, and what we're going to be doing differently next year. This is important, guys, because as new people come in, we need to be able to advise them about how best to get the most out of this process. This is going to be my 4th time coming up doing it. I think I got a pretty good grip on what's going to work, what's not going to work. So if you guys have been doing this once, twice, help the new people coming in, kind of advise them so they can have a quicker and better start than you did. The benefits of joining the weekly accountability group for the 12-week year is, it's going to help you connect with partners, learn more about your teammates, learn more about what they're doing, what works, what doesn't work, get some feedback. Guys, in a virtual environment, it's got so many advantages, but you need to stay connected with the business, with the team, with the organization, with your partners. So all of these things that we try to do and put in front of you is just to help you guys stay connected and feed off of each other's energy. Correct what's not working, move on very quickly away from that, and then find stuff that is working and just, continue to duplicate that for, states across the country. 36-month vision. I brought this up a couple times in the past few weeks. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but you need to have a good idea of what you want to accomplish. And these are some general things that came up in my 36-month vision. But attached to these, when you dive down into specifics, you should have 36-month cash flow goals, income goals, savings goals, debt elimination goals. One of your quadrants in the 36-month vision should be something that you want. If you're working hard, you got to reward yourself. Mine is a move back out to Nevada. It's going to be easier to brand the business there. There's a lot of different reasons I want to move there. And then, asset goals. I've got trading goals. Also want to set up some more business investment. As you make money, you need to invest back in your business. And if you're doing what you need to do in building this business, the last 36-month part of my vision is the performance, the rewards on the monthly, quarterly bonuses. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to have 2 all-expense-paid trips every year, building ownership in this platform. It's important to know why you're doing what you're doing, because on a day-to-day basis, the build out of this business, it's a grind, and especially in the beginning. So you need something that you feel with emotion that will get you going. Also, every week we want to do a couple of just quick tips on the CRM. Number 1, up in this corner blue box up here, the cloud, that will actually show you the weather in that particular person's area. So if you need some way to open a conversation, that's one thing you can use. And guys, as you interview people, you can see that they're going to have a why. They're going to have a why in that ABC call. They're going to have a why come out. That's what's going to drive the execution to get this done. The why is a big factor. So what is it they want? So you guys can continue to revisit that. The more you bring that up, the more you discuss that with your partners, the easier it is they're going to find the motivation and appreciate the positive kind of reinforcement that you're giving them. Also, as the notes are coming through, this is especially important for managers. If you're managing a team, you need to know who your notes are coming through. Right now, your CRM is set up as correspondence at bfcontact.com. All you have to do is go into your profile, select email accounts, and your system email will show correspondence at bfcontact. All you got to do is type in your first name, first and last name, save that. So now when your manager gets the notes, instead of correspondence, it's going to say Mike Amos is via contact, and you know, oh, that's a note from Mike. Easier to manage people when it's not just a whole string of things coming through as correspondence. So make sure you guys adjust that in the CRM and help your partners do the same. Launch campaign. The launch campaign is important. It's recently added. It's going to help your partners become comfortable. If we can't talk to people that we have some type of relationship with, the probability you're going to be able to go out in the social media world, cold market, and really effectively market, advertise, and build a pipeline is little to none. So if you help your partners develop that launch campaign in the beginning, whether it's product, whether it's partner, doesn't matter. It's going to help them do a few things. It's going to help them learn the CRM, the Tier 1 contact confirm script, how to put in notes, all of this stuff. That's at a base level. So you are going to get something. If nothing comes out of this, you're going to get through more of the learning curve. If you gain a client out of this, partner out of this, it's qualified, by all means. What it's going to do for your partner is reinvigorate them to go back in and maybe open up a little bit more of that existing marketplace. So this is important. And it also gives you access once you've completed phase 1 and you participated in the launch campaign, just doing very minimal stuff we're asking you to do in the beginning, you have access to the Virtual Financial University. Now, this is not quite complete, but once it is, it's going to provide just a library of these Tier 1 breakdowns, Tier 2 breakdowns, all of the tier breakdowns that your partners can learn the business. Remember, if you've got infrastructure that we all use, language that we all use, and a business model and system that we all use, building these agencies nationwide is going to be a very doable thing, scalable event, and that's going to bring in massive amounts of cash flow. So come to the university when you have access. Let your partners learn on their own time so you can concentrate on building business relationships, training when you need to train, but also it gets us all to the point where we can start to absorb these roles, which is really important for the mass distribution build-out that we're trying to accomplish. It's going to help get through all the mechanics like we talked about. It's going to both learn and build the business for the nationwide digital agencies. And remember, if you've got nationwide digital agencies with little to no fixed and variable costs, spinning off a lot of cash flow, guys, it's going to put you in an enormous position. The CRM is the brains of our operation. That's team communication. That's how we speak. That's why we especially want to put emphasis in the very beginning, learning the CRM, putting people in, putting managers, consultants, adding things to calendars. The quicker your partners get through mastering the CRM, the easier it's going to be for you to communicate with them, for them to build a business, and for you guys to have a mutually beneficial relationship. Small victories, very, very important in the beginning, guys. It's the results probably in the beginning, especially if you don't come from a business background. You come from a completely different career or profession. You've got to look at the very beginning stage of this business and get excited about the little victories. And that's things that, just getting past the learning curve, making sure that you know how to use the system, setting up small technology like three-way calls, screen shares, just mastering that stuff in the very beginning. Get excited about it because the other end outcomes and results are going to follow. You just do what you need to do, especially in the beginning, follow our lead, and like I said, pat yourself on the back every once in a while for getting some stuff done. Velocity. So what is all this leading up to? Well, the system, the Virtual Financial University, everything that we do is based around creating velocity. And really velocity is the speed that we're going to get somewhere. How far we're going to go and what period of time. And it's important in this business model because that's what it's built for. It's built for distribution. It's built for velocity. So all these things that we're trying to introduce is really about getting your partners to take over roles quicker where they can absorb those, which means we can have more activity, more man hours, more build out, and they can actually start to introduce some of those same roles down to existing partners that are in and coming in. It's very important, guys. You can't just lean on everybody for long periods of time. That's not going to build anything out. You got to, get out there, take over some roles as you've been in here, master the circle, the inner mechanics of each one of these tiers, and, watch what happens to your business build out. This is an enormous opportunity where if you can master a system, teach other people how to master a system, there is no point of resistance for scalability here. No one's going to come to you and say, hey, we need $500,000 for this next build out, or we need infrastructure. It's all taken care of for us. You just put it together. with a human element. SVP is something where from moment one you come into this business, you should have your eye on. Remember, skate to where the puck's going to be, not to where the puck is right now. Think like you have a big organization, value your time, value your marketing efforts, and get some things into place to march to SVP so that you can have the top contract to run a base shop, start to build ownership, distribution, put yourself in a position to open up the quarterly, the monthly bonuses, six-figure income, and build that huge asset that's going to spin off a lot of cash flow for you. You got this, guys. It's not something that we develop that, is going to take you a long period of time. If you're able to constructively put together a plan of action that is doable for the marketing of both partners as well as clients, you should be able to get this done. $75,000 annual premium over a 90-day cycle. That's $6,250 a monthly premium, or $70 a day. So a regular average term policy, if your organization wrote that up every day over a 90-day cycle, you've got, under the reductions in the standard of the fast track, you've got this knocked out. And then at that point, you can start to build the distribution. So every first-generation SVP, when he or she starts to have an effective base shop that's actually manufacturing some policies, getting some business out there, every leg should be worth at least $10,000 to you. So as you start to build that first generation, which will manufacture the rest of the second through the sixth, don't worry about the second through the sixth. If you do your job on the first generation, everything else will fall into line. First generation is going to be worth at least $10,000 on a active, working base shop. So if you build 6, 7 directs to you, just in first generation, that's $60,000, $70,000 a month in passive income. So this is why we're trying to increase the speed and the velocity of getting you guys into a position where you can absorb these roles, bring people in, and just duplicate this process. This is going to be a massive growth spurt over the next 36 to 48 months. I just want us to be in the position to be able to absorb that type of growth in an orderly way. And that really starts with bringing in the right people. Anybody who's been in this company for any period of time talks about this. In the beginning, we brought in a lot of people that were the wrong people. And when you build filters, when you build a system, it allows you to actually have a conversation with that person, not a sales pitch anymore, learn more about them, and then from that point, you get good at reading people. If you're reading people very quickly, you're bringing in the right people, not wasting time on the people that don't fit into our profile. There's nothing wrong. If somebody's not a good fit for this business, it doesn't make you or them, there's nothing wrong with that end outcome. It just wasn't a good situation. So what you want to be able to find out, does someone want something? Because everybody out there you're going to talk to, they want what we have to offer: time freedom, lifestyle freedom, and financial freedom. The difference is, are you willing to work hard for something? Because to come in here and sign up and think you're going to get started getting direct deposits is a ludicrous mindset, but people in the very beginning thought that. You've got to come in here and you've got to spend a little time, effort, let your time and effort compound on top of each other to get this built out, and you got to stick with it for a period of time through the bumps in the very beginning. There is no business you're going to start from the ground floor up that's going to be a smooth ride. So don't expect a smooth ride. A disruptor, changes everything. When you're talking to somebody, do they understand that? I got an email or a note back from a partner the other day, person that she was speaking to hates digital models, loves traditional brick and mortar. Guys, that's a sense of entitlement. If you don't want the world to change anymore, you want things to stay the same just to fit your lifestyle, that's a sense of entitlement. Disruption is all around us. You're not going to stop it. It's already been proven in other sectors, other industries. We're applying it to a much larger model. When somebody looks at what we're doing, they should very quickly be able to understand, disruption in a multi-trillion-dollar industry creates a lot of opportunity. People don't see that, probably not the right partner for you. Leave traditional, flows to digital, and that brings with you a tidal wave of cash flow with the market share. It's a plug-and-play, predictable, and profitable turnkey business system. Does the person that you're talking to on the other end, do they understand that? If so, entrepreneurs, people that understand scaling businesses, understand cash flow, should be interested in this. If they don't, not the right partner, once again. And then, we brought this up last several weeks. I think this is a great slide. I want you guys to understand that. Somebody asks you, how do you make money here? One of the first things that you need to understand is, how do you currently get paid? So ask a question. How do you get paid now? If you don't mind me asking, So you understand, are they a W-2? Are they self-employed, 1099? Because there's 4 ways that we get paid here. If you understand how we get paid and the unlimited opportunity with some of these streams of cash flow and income, that should be very appealing to the serial entrepreneur with vision. Also, where are they on the cash flow quadrant? Do they understand where they need to get to, and are they willing to work for it? If you're okay with being a W-2 employee, making X amount per month and just going on that steady path for the next 10, 20, plus years, that's fine. Best of luck to you. We're not looking for that. If you're looking to build a practice where it's 100% of your activity, building a book of business that you have to show up to every day for the next 10, 20 years, best of luck to you. But that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for the wealth builders. We're looking for people that know how to build organizations, the advantage of scaling an organization that leads to the back end, financial freedom, cash flow, investable, appreciating assets, all of these things that are associated with the last piece of the quadrant. Somebody wants to stay as an employee? Okay, guys, just move on quickly. It's going to take some sweat equity coming in. We don't ask a lot in terms of a financial commitment, but there is sweat equity, and that's really what is going to separate the builders from the people who end up drifting and quitting. Are you willing to, over a period of time, stick this out, do what you need to, be consistent to allow your activities to start to really form into a base shop that you use as a training center to get people across this country into a position to take over digital agencies? 3 is what you want to concentrate on in the beginning. 3 direct partners. These are qualified. These are good people that we've interviewed that we think are going to make a good fit. Now, does that mean they're going to do anything in this business? No, it doesn't. Out of the 3 that come in every month, you have a percentage that drop out, percentage that try to have activity, and have a small percentage that actually start to really understand this and run with it. You don't need too many people, 5 to 7 that really get this to start building multi-directional growth. Out of this 3 a month, will start to come 10 out of the base shop. And if you can do 310, that's really going to get this engine going and you into a position where you've got some income coming in, you've got some growth, you've got the ability to start training the right people, and then you come into a management perspective where now my time's got to be divvied out between direct marketing and managing some of the people. And that's why we say the CRM is important. It lets you know who's working, what they're doing, so you know who to spend time with. If you're not getting any CRM notes from somebody, it shows that they're not doing anything. Either they're not using the CRM correctly at all, or they're just not doing anything. Either thing is a problem, so this is going to allow you to evaluate where to spend your time. And also, guys, don't get overwhelmed with the platform. 200 carriers, 500 products. Like David was mentioning, there's a lot of things that we can offer people for certain situations, but I'm firmly convinced and 100% convinced that somebody can come in here, use the Transamerica Term of Living Benefits product, and build a huge organization nationwide that has multiple legs of multi-million-dollar directional growth. Because if somebody has no insurance, it's great. But we've got that upgrade market that we talk about. This is a new product. It's needed. If you master the ability to understand this product and effectively advertise it to the open marketplace in a non-insurance-based way that gets them to open the conversation with you, this product is incredible. It sells itself. We talk always about the amount of policies over the next coming years that need to be replaced. It's tens of millions. How many of these can we capture as we build organizations? If it's enough, then it's going to fuel a whole lot of cash flow for a whole lot of different levels of your organization. In your daily routine. So all this stuff that we're talking about, it just really comes back to what do I do on a daily basis? If there's something you're doing part-time or full-time, it doesn't matter. Whatever hours you're devoting, you need a daily routine so you get the most out of that. And that really starts with having a new mindset. It's not exactly about only what you do, but what you avoid doing. Recognize unproductive activity. Focus on being productive. Once you establish that mindset, it's a lot easier to trim down your schedule, get everything that you have to get done, and then the other stuff can come like in a secondary kind of nature, because if you concentrate first and foremost on putting out the most perfect meme and it gets 1 like, no shares, and no engagement versus being on the phone, you can see just make sure you put an order of importance into what you need to do every day. And you're an educator. No matter whether you're dealing with clients or partners, there's a new model. We've got new products. There's a lot that needs to be taught to the other side. So you need to make a commitment, dedication to excellence, have compassion for the people you're talking with. Now, I'm not talking about babying people, but understand, a lot of people in this country are going through major financial stress right now. Part of your job is to be somewhat compassionate about what they're going through and offer real solutions. Also, concentrate on income-producing activities. We can't concentrate on this, too much, and that's really important because what do you have planned for today, for the week, that's actually going to have the opportunity to return revenue and income? Once again, you can be in this business and you can work on it every day and you cannot make any money. So you need to understand, what do I need to do? What's most important that's going to actually put money in my bank account? Concentrate on that first. And the activities, whether it's business activity or marketing activities, you need to divide them up accordingly. As you build your business, you're going to have business activity. You're going to have people ask you questions, need your help. Maybe you got to do an ABC call. Maybe you got to do a tier activity for them. But also, don't get in the habit of just being a manager. If you stop building your organization and start managing the people under you, it's going to be an ugly end for you. It's going to crater at some point. You always have to continue to build out because, honestly, over the next coming 2 to 3 years, there's going to be some major people coming to this organization. You don't want to miss out on the opportunity to be in the front of that line speaking with those people. Gates are about to open for this company. Don't neglect your direct activity. It's very important. And, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, guys, but I just put this on here if you guys want to go back through and screen share or ask me for it. It's just some stuff that can really help you. And then, in the middle right here, if you're posting memes and you're making personal memes, which we definitely advise that you do, don't get caught up on thinking every day, what should I post? Have some type of recurring calendar or event activity schedule that on each day so you don't have to think about this much. Just go and get it done. And make sure, guys, that you pepper your social media accordingly. It can't all just be advertisements. It should be, a good mix with about a 20% ratio on the advertising side. So you want to put out stuff that's educational, that's funny, that's inspiring. But then when you put out your ads, don't, hide from those ads. Make sure you come out swinging, direct hit, speak to people, entice them to go to landing pages. And the rest of the stuff, guys, it's just the typical stuff. Making phone calls, texting people, following up. All the stuff that you need to do every day to make sure that you're both creating and resolving leads. If you do enough of that, you're going to find some great people out there. 2 articles and 2 memes a day. I mean, this is pretty much average stuff here that you can follow. If you're making your own memes, make sure you personalize them, brand them, because if they get picked up and shared by other people, your stuff's right there. Put it at a place where somebody else can't crop it out. So don't put it at the bottom where somebody can just get rid of it. They're going to share it. It's going to be, very advantageous for you to have your information on there to get shared with that network. And guys, Facebook and Instagram, it's good for branding opportunities outside of the daily routine activities. So as people, go to your pages, your landing pages, they have that opportunity to go to some of your social links or in your Gmail signature. If you've got social links there, Facebook and Instagram provide an opportunity for people to get to know you as a real human being. What are you about? What do you like to do? Remember, in a digital environment, still got to be a human element to this. So people want to get to know you, and people want to work with people they like, and that's the bottom line. Value. So you're going to put certain types of value on certain things that you do in this business. But you've got to make sure that if you're struggling with lead generation, you're going to put too much value on that lead, and you're going to prep to call it, you're going to concentrate on it, versus being basically emotionalist about the lead. If you create enough leads, it's just a lead. Yeah, lead's great, but it's just a lead. If you create enough of these, resolve enough of these, and don't get too hung up with the value of any one lead coming in, you're going to find what you're looking for. Clients, partners, you're going to be keeping out the wrong people, which is a major accomplishment, especially in the beginning, learning to read people. You're going to get out of that partners with activity, partners that form your core group, and partners that build distribution legs. And once again, you can't get down to distribution legs if you don't have enough leads in the beginning, and the leads that you create, you are so concerned about closing those that now you turn into somebody with a pitch, with a close, instead of somebody coming from a position of power as having an excellent opportunity that we're selecting certain candidates to mentor, coach, and help build into nationwide distribution of financial services. Guys, if you come in or your partners come in with very limited resources in the beginning, you got to be strategic in social media. Even if you have resources coming in, you don't know what you're doing, Don't just throw money at social media. It's going to get sucked out like a slot machine. So you need to know what you're doing, test things with small budgets. If you have no budget, then get out there and create as much organic growth as you can. There are opportunities, especially in platforms like LinkedIn, to go out there with absolutely no money invested, reach a lot of people, if you're willing to put in the time and effort. And that's why we always lead with LinkedIn. We say, guys, don't worry about anything else in the beginning. Concentrate on LinkedIn until you feel comfortable, you feel like you've got daily activity, you're understanding how to extract value, and why. Because top in lead generation by a long shot is LinkedIn. And a business like ours is our go-to marketing asset, not necessarily for clients, but for business partners. Great guys and girls on there. Average wage or salary on there, I think, is close to 6 figures. So you've got a lot of great people, self-starters, entrepreneur mindset of people that we want to reach. And to drive traffic and awareness, you get 11 times better response rate on those social media messages going in through the LinkedIn message center. So don't shy away from using that message center as a direct way to interact with people. Success, guys, has got to be found on the phone. A period of your day, not only in follow-up, I'm not just talking about calling your leads and contacting people to follow up in the CRM, but you've got to create some conversations out there. Remember, if nobody knows you're in business, that's really the first obstacle that you got to overcome. You got to let people know what you're doing, that you're excited about it. A lot of people, 90% of the people aren't going to probably want to hear it, but other 10%, we're going to whittle it down to find some awesome people that can help us challenge industry giants and take a lot of market share. So once again, the phone is used, yes, for follow-up, to talk to your potential partners, clients, but it's also there to create lead opportunity, marketing generation as well, or generating marketing. And if you don't spend time on the phone, the business is not going to get built out. If you hide behind the keyboards, if you have call reluctance, most people do. Most people want to resist making those calls. If you do that, then what's going to happen over a period of time is that phone feels very heavy, and all of a sudden it becomes very easy every single day not to make those calls. You're going to get into some type of a habit with your brain. It loves habit. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to repeat it. Establish some good habits and watch what happens. Cold market is really about mindset. You go in there and you're able to fill up a pipeline over, a 90-day cycle. That's what it's going to take in the beginning. People ask me, what does it take to build this business? Well, it depends on what resources you have. If you have no resources, you're going to do whatever it takes in the beginning. That's going to, also include some cold calling, some cold market advertising, because once you have a business that starts to root, you're going to have money coming in. And from that, you can start to pay yourself first, which is, one of our biggest, things that we try to instill in our partners and clients. But also, you're going to have a small percentage that you can reinvest into your business and marketing. Average time to hire a new employee a few years ago was almost 40 days. That's why we have that communication schedule with a follow-up schedule. Most people don't go past an initial call or one initial follow-up. You can separate yourself and you can take a lot of money from the people who are unwilling to do what you're willing to do just by going out and making those extra attempts. Remember, if somebody isn't responding back immediately, it does not mean that their interest level is not there. It means they're probably busy. Email, social media, voicemail, text, use all of your tools, get a hold of people, allow them to respond back. If you're doing email marketing, you should always concentrate on not only getting something out daily, but increasing your list. If you're adding X amount of people per week to an email list, over the course of months and years, it's going to grow to be pretty big. Once again, this business has to be the right timing for people. If somebody had introduced this to me 9 months before they did, there's no way I would have been interested. So just because somebody's not interested now, unless they're telling you specifically, I hate this, I have no interest, I can't get a license, I'm a felon, whatever it might be, build an email list. Get a hold of those people, once a quarter, a few times a year. Let them know what you're doing. Subject lines matter. If your subject lines suck, no one's going to open your email. Remember that. That's half the battle is enticing somebody with a subject line to open your email. So how do you get there? You get there by being creative. One of the things you can look at is look at your emails. Even the stuff that ends up being spam, sometimes you open it just because it's got some type of an enticement in the headline. It just caught your curiosity. So writing effective headlines is going to be something that will start to separate yourself from a lot of these marketers out there that have no idea what they're doing. educating yourself. If you can spend just a few minutes a day, I actually consider this income-producing activity because if you learn things and put those things into, your daily conversations, your daily advertising, your daily managing, whatever it might be, if you get better at doing all these things, the money's going to follow. So spend a little time each day getting better at what you do, learning new things. It's only going to help. Also, remember your brand. Your personal brand is important. Virtual Financial is a virtual lifestyle brand, and it's got a lot of advantages, but people are going to buy into you first. So what stories are you going to tell? What are you discovering? How engaging are you? Are you measuring what you're actually doing out there? And do you have some type of a flow to your activity? Do you know what you're doing on social platforms? Do you know how to drive traffic to landing pages? Do you know how to use your main website effectively? And that's really where you want to start. We've got a ton of information. If you've been in, I talk to some people who've been in for a number of weeks, and I say, well, are you using your website? And they don't even know they have a website. It's very important, guys, that in the beginning you absorb as much information as possible about what you have. Don't just use one thing and don't look at any other marketing assets. This is the central part of what you do. It's got a lot of information about who you are, the opportunity, our business, our crusade, our assembly line, our compensation. Everything's right here, including to learn more about our career. So your business website is very important to what you do. Also, you need to test your landing pages. If you're using landing pages, make sure that it makes sense. In other words, after they put in their name, email address, and phone number, where are they going on the back side? Make sure it makes sense. Make sure there's it goes from one thing that you're talking about to a similar thing, not something completely different. Don't send them from a landing page to another landing page where they've got to put in their exact same information. So organize some things. Pick out 5 to 7 of these you really like and make sure you've got them set up. If you have any questions, let us know. It's a great time to be in network marketing. It's a great time to be a marketer. It's a great time to be an entrepreneur. You understand the environment that we're in, the time and history that we're in, the ability to do what we're able to do. It is a home run. And that goes back to what we were talking about in the very beginning. Somebody doesn't want to do any of this, they're not the right fit. We don't want to pull somebody into our company and have to push them and drag them into the point that they eventually quit. Let's get them and get us very quickly to a point where we decide this isn't a good fit. It's, you're doing both sides a favor. Middle class is critically underserved. There's a lot of people out there that are stressed out about money. They want to be more financially fit, and most people that you talk to have a desire to have greater career engagement. So what does that mean for us? Well, that means on the client side, there's a lot of work to do with financial literacy, product strategies. On the partner side, there's a lot of work to do to introduce this company, introduce the opportunity and, what it can possibly do for them and their family, create legacy, create generational wealth. All you've got to do is get in the business of contacting people and having conversations. And if you're in the business, you always want to be evaluating yourself. And I use this as an example because I think it works pretty well. If you are a publicly traded stock right now, what are the analysts saying about you? Are you on a downtrend? Is your business activity, is your income growth, is your partner growth, is it on a downtrend? Well, if you're not growing, you're not expanding, you're contracting and dying, it's a bad sign for your business, especially in an opportunity like this where the company is hitting some nice growth. Or have you kind of flatlined? Have you got up to a certain point that really nothing else is happening? You're kind of dealing with whatever you put together up to this point. If that's the case, without additional growth, you're never going to get to your end goals. And what you're going to see is the company, other individuals, other teams start to pass you up. Or are you on the uptrend? Are you doing things right now going forward that's going to put your quote-unquote stock into a position where it's going to get a lot of interest, and it's going to get a lot of volume, it's going to get a lot of money coming in. For you in this model, that's going to be, videos being watched, partners coming in, clients coming in, all that leads to revenue income growth. I was listening to a guy that had been with WFG for a while. I forgot where it was, but Alana and I talk about this sometimes. He had some party at his house. There were people coming over from his team, and people were dressed up weird, doing weird things, playing Dungeons and Dragons, and his wife came up to him and, frankly asked him, is this the best you can do? And I think that's something that we all need to ask ourselves. Take a look at your organization, take a look at your recent recruits, and ask yourself a question and be honest. Is this the best you can do? If it's not, Learn from your mistakes. We expect you to make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Learn from them, though. Don't repeat the same mistakes. This is going to turn into a grind. And the Hall of Fame, guys, you get to a Hall of Fame status by doing something consistently over a long period of time. If you put in a lot of effort, you go just crazy activity for a month, you take a month off, that first month never existed. So make sure you understand that. So, guys, that's what we've got for today. I know this is a weird time for a meeting. We always talk about this. If you got partners that work jobs or they got other things going on during Wednesday afternoon, we get the recordings out via email. We post them in the Facebook group, and we put them on the YouTube channel. If you guys have anything to say, we're going to have Alana open this back up. If you need to talk privately, you need any assistance, help with any part of your business, as long as you're working, they're actively going to work with you.
All right, another great presentation from Mike Amos. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the recording.